Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's a brand new week, and I'm excited. I believe we're going to have a fantastic trading week ahead. It's the 23rd of Monday. And what I want to do, guys, is my weekly analysis. So you already know that I trade specific pairs, that is US 30, gold, GBP, USD, GBP, JPY, Euro AUD, Euro CAD, and Euro JPY. Those are the main currencies that I really look at, and only because they're actually my best performing pairs. But yes, I might also just look at other pairs just in case there's something interesting. So this is the London session. It's on right now. Usually on Mondays, I don't necessarily get into the markets Monday morning during the London. I like to get in from the New York session. So that's why I have this time to do this analysis right now. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I'll really try. I know I tend to be sometimes bad with time, but please bear with me. I really hope that even if I take a bit of time to look at the charts, I'm adding value to your own analysis, okay? So yes, if this is your first time on my channel, please like and subscribe. Give me motivation to keep doing this, guys. But anyway, that aside, thank you for being here. So US 30, here it is. And I'm on the daily. US 30 has been bullish. That's for sure. It's been very bullish generally. So my bias is bullish, okay? It hasn't changed as of now. I still think we have potential to keep pushing up, you know, despite the fact that we did, last week we did retrace a bit, but I am bullish on US 30. So we are approaching the high on the daily, and I still think we have room to go, yeah, quite a bit of distance. So yeah, I anticipate us at least taking out the 335,535 level at the very least, and getting to the high of the week, which is the high of the day as well currently. So unless something changes, I'm bullish on US 30. If anything happens and we try to push lower, probably get to the 34,697. We are literally in the middle of this range on the daily. Yeah. Let me just look at the 1 hour. Okay, so the 1 hour looks, so you can see we literally tested the previous low, okay? This was on the 19th, and then this was on the 20th. So on the 20th, we tested the previous day's low. And then we pushed up. And we have a high here to go up here. You know, there's a bit, there is some liquidity up here. So we could continue to push up higher. There's some highs here to be taken out. So, but before that happens, you may see, like when I look at the lower time frame here, we may see some, you know, push lower. So let me just also look at, I just want to see, we are, today is the 23rd. So we are, you know, definitely pushing lower right now as we speak, but I'm bullish, okay? So I'll be looking for buys. That's really what I'm looking for. So we may push like about, let's see, we may drop about, maybe about 160 pips, maybe even 200 pips, maybe. But I'm still bullish on this pair. I'm still bullish. I'm like, so bullish, so bullish. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, we may retrace a bit, maybe to the 35,157, maybe even lower to the 35,084 level, and then we're just gonna push up, you know. So bullish on US 30. I personally today would be looking for buys, but the thing is, we'll get to see what happens by the New York session, and you know, but generally long term, we are bullish on US 30. Whatever happens in between is just about us being able to also understand where the levels of liquidity are and what or where the draws on liquidity are, and so to just anticipate any pullbacks that may happen in between. That's US 30. Then there's gold. Gold. Gold, 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 gold. One of my really favorite pairs. So gold did some stuff here. Follows. Just put them there for attention. Attention. We're kind of looking bullish on gold as well. Kind of looking bullish on gold. So we have that interesting level, 1834 level. I'm seeing that we are still, you know, we are in a bit of a consolidation right now. We've been consolidating gold has been consolidating since it pushed up on the 16th, you know, so for a couple of days, like 3 days. And we are still in this range, you know, we are still in this range, kind of like pushing lower. Like this is like a, you know, this is a push up and a retest. And I feel like, you know, there's still potential to push up. But, you know, the volume in the market right now, you know, we are seeing these really small candles. So, you know, we actually may even begin to push up now. So 1814 is a near target that we may get to. Okay. So yeah, I'm bullish on gold. I'm bullish on gold unless something drastic happens. We are at an interesting zone here. Okay, we are at an interesting zone here, which we retested here. We pushed lower, but then the momentum down was not as great. So we are still trying to break structure. Okay, so I'm bullish. You know, whatever happens in between before that, you may be able to take some trades in between, but my bias is also currently to the upside. Yeah, but we'll see what happens in this zone. And then we have, so let me look at Euro. Let's look at Euro AUD. I'm still looking at the pairs I trade, right? So that's what we're doing. Euro AUD last week rallied, okay? Euro AUD, Euro CAD, they rallied last week. Okay, pretty nice rally that happened last week. And then we got to a previous high here and we kind of settled. And are we still going to keep pushing up? We broke a level of structure here. We may retest that level of structure, okay? Maybe a big day. You know, this level here, this zone here. Okay, so we may try to like retest it. You may retest it. Let me just look at the 1 hour. But generally, Euro AUD, apart from like, let's go the daily. You know, Euro AUD has been ranging. It dropped here, ranged for a bit, and then came back to this zone. Not much has been happening with this pair, in my opinion. If at all there's potential to retest this zone, this is what this is about 38 pips there, about 38 pips of 394 pips. So we are on a previous daily high. I'm not so sure that we will continue pushing up. I feel like there could be a retest before a continuation. Look at the lower time frame. But yeah, it's still pushing up, right? Euro AUD is still looking like it wants to push up, even if it's on the short term. Okay, even if it's on the short term, that's how it's looking. You know, but so yeah, so we may just, you know, push up to the I want to see what happens when it gets to the previous day's high, to this high. I mean, this for me is a key level of structure here. So I'll just be monitoring it. The trade may not even fully play out nicely today. Maybe we'll see what's happening. Okay, so this previous high here for me is a key level of interest. But I'm also seeing like we could retrace. Okay, so my bias is we actually could just retrace, then continue on to the upside. But I'm 50-50 on Euro AUD right now. 50-50. It's not a trade I would take possibly right now. Bullish long term in right now, ranging. We may push lower, but I'm biased still for a buy. So Euro JPY. Euro JPY is looking bullish pretty much. Last week it dropped, created some key levels below. And so we are also looking bullish, but I wouldn't be surprised if Euro JPY actually drops. Oh, excuse me, guys. Yeah, we're seeing previous lows here. We can see that really we have been retracing. Okay. UJ from last year, November, has been on a good climb up. And then finally, we got to the high of the day on the daily, and we've just been bearish since. And finally, we got to a previous level of structure. We tried to break through. We didn't quite do so, but I feel like there could still be bearish pressure. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually attempted to continue lower, possibly to the 125.119 levels. Okay. That's a possibility. But if I go to a lower time frame, 1 hour, So in the 1 hour, we can actually see that we actually did get to this lower zone here, and hence now pushing up. Didn't quite make the high of the day up here. So I'm seeing, looking at this zone here, it's looking interesting. Yeah, so we may actually see Euro JPY pushing up to this level and then possibly continuing on its way down. I feel like there's a lot of liquidity up here, okay? So that would be the reason why it would push up, right? So that's Euro JPY, Euro CAD. Euro CAD. Same drill, looking similar, but pushing lower. Yeah, so there's room for this pair to just, break to the downside before it continues its streak upside. So if I just clear my chart. Yeah, so a lot of upside liquidity here, below as well. And, but I'm feeling like we need to push lower first before we continue on the upside. So for me, I'm biased on EuroCAD pulling back, first, before we see any moves up. Okay, so this is really what I'm anticipating. Okay. Let me just look at Euro JPY again. Yeah, so Euro JPY is actually looking like it could literally actually just continue onwards. Even if it pushes up and then, kind of consolidates here for a while, and then we see the we see like more, so we may even break structure here, this zone here, and continue onwards. But I think today we'll see the push up first for Euro JPY before we push lower. Okay. Let me look at Euro AUD again. I just would like to confirm what I'm seeing. So as for Euro AUD, yes, we are looking very bullish. So this is a potential target 1.67756. But I'm also thinking that there is potential to push lower before we do push up. Okay, so similarly, kind of maybe do the same thing that Euro JPY is looking like it could do. Yeah, so is it Euro JPY or Euro CAD? Yeah, Euro JPY. Wait a minute. I mean, actually, what the Euro pairs are all looking like they are bullish, yes. Some of them are in a range, like right now, EuroCAD is in a range. So we may consolidate, move up, down in no new direction before pushing up. So, but there's lower levels of liquidity on these pairs. So I do anticipate that we may reverse first to test the lower levels of liquidity before we push up. Okay. Then let me look at, so I've looked at all the pairs except GBP. So let's look at GBP USD. Now GBP, sorry guys. GBP USD is just looking bearish right now on the weekly, pretty much. We are in a very, very cool zone right now as we speak. There's potential to, GU literally last week just dropped, yeah. We could even drop slightly more, some more, before we see a correction, maybe just to kind of confuse the market. But I'm kind of like bullish, okay? Kind of, but I wouldn't be surprised if we tried to retrace to the previous lows of last week, even if albeit briefly, because this is a really, really, really strong push lower. So unless we break structure, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lower move before we now begin to see the push up. There's a bit of room, right? But I'm feeling like we've kind of maxed out, kind of, like this is the daily, like this was the daily low. Okay, so we haven't yet hit the previous day's low per se. Of our previous target. We got to the previous day's low, but not, a recent, a past low. So I'm like, may push up, but I would honestly like to see a bit of a retrace. Okay. This definitely is an interesting level of structure. And I feel like if we bounce back to this zone, then we will then look to push up. And if we keep on pushing up, I feel like we'll still retest this zone. Yeah, so I'm bullish, but again, guys, I want to see what happens in the London session. GJ, I think, was also kind of behaving like GU last week. We actually did get to our previous levels of structure. I don't know why she's looking like we need to go lower before we continue up. This was a retrace. GJ has been pushing up, but now long term, but got to a pretty interesting high here, a strong level here, and then began to retrace. Didn't quite make it to this area that I had marked out. So I feel like there's still room to play out and go to the 148.526 level. That's how I'm thinking. That's how I'm seeing this. That's what I'm anticipating. I really would love to see, before we continue up. Honestly, I would love to see a retest. We might just ignore that retest altogether and just make it for the previous high. But it'd be nice if we could or at least get to this zone at the very, very least. At the very least. So that zone is important. So that's that, guys. And then let me just look at USD JPY, the yen. Yeah, bullish, but there's some liquidity downside that's pending. Some pending liquidity, there's some levels below here. Okay, but this would be an area of retest that I would love to see UJ come to. So just looking similar like GJ or any yen pair, I suppose, like I told you guys, EJ had the same feeling. That's my, like I want to see the retrace. So the only pairs that are really looking bullish to me right now is, like, obviously bullish, is gold and US30. The pairs are looking like, they have reached a point of structure that they may settle there, they may push up, they may not push up. So a bit 50-50. But generally, I feel like the market is looking bullish, generally, okay, generally, because last week the GBP pairs dropped. We saw gold as well drop. We saw US 30 do the same thing, and then of course, you know, kind of shift. And then we saw the euro pairs now bullish. So the euro pairs may correct themselves. Okay, that's basically what I'm thinking. Okay, I would love to see the correction before we see the continuation to the upside. So the same with USD JPY. If I look at AUD JPY, which is also a really critical pair to trade, that's where we're at. Last week's markings. So AJ may just continue pushing on up. And we feel nothing for a retest. I'll only wait and see what happens at the 78.798 zone. I want to see if it breaks through or, you know, retests below. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we're bullish. You know, we are still bullish. Though, like I said, guys, I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, AJ has been clearing lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So we may just continue to push. It's just here that now we broke structure and pushed up at this level here. If you look at this, there was a break of structure here. And then we kind of formed an interesting zone here. So again, we'd love to see it come down, then push up, maybe even push lower, grab some liquidity down there, and then push up. Okay. So I think that's it for now, guys. Let's look at BTC, USDT. For those who are investing in crypto. So this was a weekend trade. We can see we did come down, grab liquidity, and now pushed up. So what I'm looking at right now is, okay, yes, BTC, USDT. We're very bullish right now, right? And I guess everybody is looking at the same thing, anticipating that, you know, we will hit the 60K mark sometime soon. It's a possibility. This is Bitcoin. So yeah, looking bullish right now. Definitely looking bullish on the weekly. Okay, on the weekly. On the daily as well. So there are a couple of pips to the high here. So I would like to see what happens at this point, at the 659, 500 level, at the 60K. We are definitely in a range. We are ranging. So we could just get to this level and bounce off. We really could, by the way, we really could. I'm seeing like this here is an interesting zone. Yeah, this is an interesting zone. So we may push up and just bounce off and continue to the downside. Very, very, I'm not sure we are yet to break the high, but I would like to see what happens at this zone here, which is at the 54,644. So yes, we definitely will get there, okay? We definitely are pushing towards that zone. I mean, that's a trade you can comfortably jump into, you know, but I'm not sure we are ready as yet to break to the upside. So this is what I'm seeing happen. Push up, push lower, then push up. So that's my take on BTC USD. So guys, that's it for today. Really hope this has been helpful. If it has, Please like, subscribe, comment, share, anything. Yeah. And see you soon, guys. Have a lovely trading week. And yeah, looking forward to the New York session. Thank you. Bye. Oh, yes, guys, before I stop, oh, yes, I have one more thing to say. Anyone who's interested in, I do have a signals group. And on the last week of August, we are going to be doing a free signals week. If you all want to come and test out my signals, guys, I'll drop the link in the comments, in the description box. You can join our Telegram group. And then last week of August, enjoy them pips that I'll be sharing. Yes, so note that down. Okay, last week of August, Telegram group link in the description box. See you soon. Bye.